Hi, this is Denise with Paper Crafty, and I'm really excited to be here today with you to participate in the Let's Get Organized 2022 collaboration. There are over 20 junk journal and multimedia artists participating in this collaboration, and every day of January we will be sharing on our YouTube channels ideas and inspiration for getting organized in the new year, as well as sharing our craft spaces. Today I'm going to be sharing a detailed tour of my desk area and my Raskog cart. When I'm not actively working on a project, this is what my workspace looks like. I've got the IKEA shelving unit to the right of my chair, and off of that I have the desk that goes with that shelving unit right in front of the window, and that provides a nice L shape. And you can see my Raskog is pushed up against the Michaels drawers out of the way. However, when I'm actively working on a project, I like to pull that Raskog out and pull the Alex drawers that are normally underneath my sewing machine to the left of my desk area. And that provides a really nice U-shaped work surface. That is really super functional, and along with a chair that rolls and swivels very easily, everything's at my fingertips. I really love this configuration. All right, I'm gonna go sit down at the desk so you can see what I've got going on over there. Okay, so here is my desk, and I really tried to put the things that I use most frequently and think about my workflow in order to have everything at my fingertips. I don't have a laptop, so I have a dedicated computer, an iMac, that I use in my craft room, and it really has made a difference to have a dedicated computer in this room. I use it all the time for uploading and editing and recording videos, using it for my silhouette, using it for Photoshop, for editing photos, as well as making kits and doing all sorts of stuff like that, doing scanning, and also just for watching YouTube videos while I'm crafting. So that's a lot of fun to have. I have a keyboard that can fit up underneath it and clear off my craft area for filming. I have a mouse that is wireless, so again the wires don't get in the way when I'm trying to videotape. And underneath the mouse is a little notepad, mouse pad. It's a mouse pad that's a notepad, and I can take notes on that. I have my external hard drive. I have cords already set up in the back that I'm able to plug my phone in when I'm going to videotape. And that black arm that you see over my work surface is a video monitor, and that's what I put my phone on when I'm going to record. And I really like having the computer there too, because then I can also see my work surface as I'm videotaping so that I can determine if I'm in frame. I've got a little work caddy there, and I've also got lighting. Another key thing that I love having is I have this cup holder, and this is my favorite flavor of LaCroix. It's limoncello. It's so good. But I always have either coffee or water here at hand, especially when I'm videotaping. This is a little Creative Memories cup holder, and it's very sturdy, and I'm not afraid of it, tipping it and it's spilling all over whatever I'm working on. The tools that I use most frequently are on my Raskog, just to my left. So these are the tools that I use every single time I craft. Okay. And this, in my Raskog, is just one of these tiered holders. You also get these at IKEA. These are the paper holders that a lot of people use like at Christmas time, and it fits right in here. It's really a nice fit. So then I store all my glues and, you know, those tools that I use most frequently in there. All right, so I'm just showing you the glue that I use, different kinds of glue that I use. And then I have one of those sprayers in there, as well as some paper towels that I haven't used up, some extra clips, and some gloves for when I'm doing inky things. In the upper right section, I keep my tall things, mainly rulers, but an especially long brush and my long Tim Holtz scissors. Off to the right, I keep my other scissors. I like my little tiny Tim Holtz scissors. These are good for fussy cutting. I keep my, these are the pinking shears that I use exclusively for paper, so I keep those in there. I keep 2 decorative scissors in here, my scalloped and my postage stamp ones. I keep my pokey tool in here. I use this thing all the time. I love this thing. And so that is in pride of place. I use my Teflon bone folder. This I use 99.9% of the time. I have a letter opener, and I use this thing a lot, getting staples out, you know, actually, yeah, just for all sorts of things, for whenever I need a pointy opener thing or something that's flat. I use this a lot more than you'd think, for a variety of reasons. I keep my tiny attacher in here. Oh, I have another craft knife in there. And then I keep, this is a whiteout pen, and it really is a nice white pen, so I use that quite a bit. So I keep that. I don't keep that with my pens. I just keep that in here, and I really love that. In front here, I use these 2 little clips, and on one clip, on the clip on the right, I keep my tweezers. I use my tweezers so much. I use these tweezers all the time. I think these I got from either scrapbook.com or Cherry on Top, one of the 2. And then I put a little ball chain on the end and just hang it off the side of my little clip. And these clips I got at the Dollar Tree. I do the same thing with a plastic, I think this was a room card or something for a hotel, but it's plastic, and I use this to spread glue, you know, with the matte medium, gesso, paint, all sorts of things. I just punched a hole in there, and I use this ball chain, and I hang it over one of these plastic things. I put these on the clips because they were hard to find in the cup. I use them all the time, and I wanted to be able to grab them quickly when I need them and then put them away quickly when I was done with them. This is a fairly recent addition. This is a little tray that I got at Daiso, and I really like this because I don't, you know, especially when I'm videotaping, you know, I'm using this entire surface, so I don't have a lot of area to, you know, put things on the side, you know, to hold things. So this is just another, you know, landing area to hold things as I'm working. So I really like that. I always have a little pad of paper handy, sticky notes. I use this all the time. This is great for spreading glue, for burnishing paper after it's been glued. I use that all the time. That's fantastic. I've got some index cards that are also sticky notes, so I keep those in here. I really like those. And in here, this is a little, I think I got this at the Target dollar spot, maybe. I'm not sure. It's a little plastic container for crayons, but I use it to keep my, basically my sewing kit here. I use it, I put my threader and my needles for bookbinding in this pencil lead holder. And then I've got, I don't know, some other extra needles and whatnot. So I'll just put that in there. In the other crayon box, I just have a variety of things that I want to keep handy so that I will use them. And then behind my tools in another cup are just a variety of pens, some lettering pens and pens that I use most frequently. Let's see. Over here on this side, I keep this is for sewing. And it's a hoop, and it has it came with this hook on it, so it's nice. It just goes over the edge. And I put my washi tape that I am using for my current project. So I'll switch this out periodically. Right now I'm working on Christmas stuff, so this is what I have on here at the moment. I also have another cup here. I don't really have a lot of stuff in there right now. This is where I keep my glue book. This is just, I use this and put it down when I'm going to need to glue something, and I glue on top of there so it doesn't get my surface all sticky. This is just some watercolor paper that I got at Five Below. I think it was $5 for this. So, and I want to start using that. And here's another glue that I use when I'm binding that I really, really like. This Helmar Acid Free is a really good glue for that. So in here, what I put in this front portion is what I'm currently working on, digitals and papers that I want to use in my current project. So I always have this steno notebook. I love using steno notebook paper, and I take notes in it. I'm going to change that up this upcoming year. I'm not going to be using taking my notes in the steno notebook quite as much. I've got a little book in here that I've been using for my Christmas projects, so that's in there. I've been using some burlap paper and some of this wood grain paper, so that's in front. And then I have, let's see, this is my New Year's postcard kit that I've cut up and I've put in a sheet protector. That's in there. Oh, I've got some of the collaboration kit with Cara Brandon and DearJulieJulie. These are all the little ephemera pieces that are all cut up. Here's a bunch of kind of scrap pieces that I don't want to throw away, that I'll use, but I want to keep separate because it's just for this project. Here's DearJulieJulie's kit, and these are the pieces I haven't cut, or, if I have cut, they're still in very large pieces, so, I just tamp them down, and then I put a clip at the top. These are Cara's. This is Cara's kit. Here's Cara's add-on kit. And this is another Christmas kit of Julie's that I've used some and I have cut some. So I just keep it all on one sheet protector so I didn't get mixed up as to what that was. This is foam core, and I use this for poking holes when I'm bookbinding. I love this stuff. It really works better than using a book or anything else, in my opinion. I really like this. So I keep that here, kind of in front at all times. And then behind there, I just have a variety of different kinds of papers that I keep in there at all times. Gold foil papers, some rice papers, some different kinds of cardstocks, and some glitter paper. So you can actually fit quite a lot in terms of digital kits up here, you know, so you have them at your fingertips when you're working. I'm going to remove this tray just so we can see what's on the lower levels. I use this twine quite frequently. So I just keep this on my cart. It's actually culinary twine. I got this from Smart and Final, but I really like the texture and the color, and you can color it. It's cotton, so it's really nice. I use this to hold a number of different things. I'll show you that in a second. But back here, I've got colored pencils, but I like using those in my projects. I've got some brushes. In this, I've got all sorts of things that I use in multimedia and painting. So I've got a tiny little brayer. I've got a pen. A pen. A brush. Got a couple different brushes. I've got a water brush. So I've got two different kinds of water brushes. I've got these little spray misty things. This one has pearlescent in the bottom of it, so you know you can use that with a sprayer. I've got this kind of really fine brush there. I've got another sprayer. That one doesn't have anything in it. I've got some that's got stuff on it, but you use these for stenciling brushes. I've got some plastic paint applicators. I like this for, I use this for all sorts of stuff. I actually, even if I'm getting down to the last of, you know, my glue stick, I'll use this to scoop out the glue that's in there and then spread it. And that's, you know, saves me money. So yeah. I've got a little sticker book here that I really like. I like this Jen Hadfield one. I use that pretty frequently. And I'm going to turn this around. And then in the back here, I've got this little tray, and I also got this at IKEA. And I have my little tab punch board. And I just put things in here that I'm going to use in like the projects that I'm currently working on. I've been working on Christmas stuff, so I've got some Christmas, you know, these are masks, Christmas masks. I've got these little Sizzix dies. I've got a punch with a snowflake on it, and then I just put this little project that I'm still as a work in progress. I've got to do my final video on, finish it up and get my final video out on that. Okay, so going back to this little tea container, it has 4 compartments and basically just holds all the things that I use to attach stuff. I use those bulldog clips a lot. I use the bulb pins a lot. I just bought these safety pins and I want to start using them. And then the bottom container or compartment holds paper clips. Okay, so this bottom shelf, when I'm not currently using my countertop, I keep my little garbage tray down here. But I keep a variety of trims in this little container, and I got this just at the Dollar Tree. So this houses a variety of trims that I use most frequently, and also I pull some trims that I want to use on the current project that I'm working on. Down below, I use this little bin for stamps, or various things that I want to use in my current project. I had been working on Christmas stuff, so that's why I have, these Christmas stamps in here. And then the bottom one has stamps that I use the most frequently. My ticket stamps and stamp canceling stamps, things like that. That I just keep this one in there all the time, and I keep that one in there all the time. This one changes what's inside of it. And then I keep my hole puncher on the edge here. And this I use just about every project. I mean, it has a variety of different hole sizes. It's super helpful. And then these two little bins, and I believe I got these containers at either Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby. But these are the punches that I use most frequently. The ones on the bottom I use a little less than the ones on top. So got a couple different sizes of circles. I've got a page reinforcer die. This is a rounded square, and you can put it anywhere on the page, so that's really handy. I use my eyelet setter a lot, so I keep that in there. I use it both for the hole punch and as an eyelet setter. This is the corner rounder that I use most frequently, the 1/4 and 1/2 inch settings. So I keep that in there. Apparently I have every size of circle punch known to man, and I use them all frequently. I also like this slot punch. It's really handy. And on the bottom you can see I have a envelope punch board. Okay, so then I move from my Raskog, and I usually have my rolling Alex drawer right here, and that is a nice area to set things on if I need an extra workspace. Now, that said, it does get messy, so I try to not keep things there permanently. I try not to do that. I also have this little carousel that I got at Michael's a long time ago. They still make these, I believe, but they might look a little bit different now. Alright, so I keep all of my dry adhesive in here, tape runners, dimensional adhesive, glue dots. The next compartment contains anything that has to do with distressing, including sandpaper, this Tim Holtz distressing tool. This next compartment has to do with all my jewelry making tools. And this next section has everything having to do with cutting. And then this is just some backup tools, another stapler in case I need it. I've also got some adhesives, wet adhesives in there that I very rarely use. I like having some tape so that I can age it and use it on my projects. The top of the caddy just has an extra pair of scissors and a rag. These are my distressing tools, which I love. I've got some erasers in this little drawer. I've got some mini cutting tools in here that are really good for fussy cutting, and a perforating tool. I've got staples for my regular and my mini attacher, and then I've just got some specialty glues in there, and then I've got my whiteout, which I use for my planner. Okay, so on my desktop, I did want to mention as well that when I'm not using my headphones, I put them kind of over the top of my monitor on my computer. My craft room is directly next to our bedroom, which my husband, when he's working at home, uses. So oftentimes I have to, use my headphones when I'm in here because he's on conference calls. So those are there. Also, this surface, I'm not sure if I discussed my surface, but this is a huge cutting pad that I have that just protects my tabletop, and actually provides, I think it's a nice non-glare surface as well for videotaping. And underneath the mat, I have a poster board that I got from Hobby Lobby. It provides some decoration, and also because my tabletop is white, from my angle, it's really hard to see the white grid lines on the cutting mat if I don't have that poster board underneath it. Okay, so that is my Raskog and my desktop. I am going to end the video here. However, I am going to do a follow-on video explaining everything to the right of my chair, because all of this is really important for my workflow and contributes to that U-shaped workspace that makes everything really accessible and really functional in my space. Thank you for joining me today. If you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you to Cara Brandon and to all the collaborators for the Let's Get Organized Challenge. Again, this is Denise with Paper Crafty, and craft on!